There we go. We don't have Mayor here tonight. Just Brian online?
And the public, yeah.
Okay. Ready? All right, we got an agenda. Is there anything else to add to the agenda, Brittany?
No.
Does anybody else have anything they need to discuss? All right, we have an agenda in front of us. Can I have a motion to accept the agenda?
I can give you that.
Thank you,
motion.
Dale. Seconder, Linda. It is carried. Does anybody have a pecuniary interest in any of the items before us? Hearing none. Our last meeting, because I hate short meetings, was back in November when we had the budget. We just left Ron with lots of time to work and didn't have to come to meetings. Anyway, I have minutes of the November the 4th meeting. I have somebody put that on the floor.
I'll make that motion for you.
Thank you, Brian. Seconder.
Second,
Dale.
Dale.
Any discussion on those minutes?
There was mention of a capital grant for safe and active school routes. It was still in progress in November. What is this status of it now?
We didn't get it.
We didn't get it. Okay. Any, Dale?
I didn't want any speed bumps anyways. I don't think Ron wanted speed bumps.
They're heard on plow. Any other discussion on the minutes? Anybody opposed to accepting? They are carried. We have no delegations, no old business. Road superintendent update.
Thank you, Chair. So routine maintenance, staff continues to monitor all the roads in the municipality. Again, where our gravel roads are not in great shape at this point, but we are monitoring them, doing the best we can. Actually, up until we're considering today, but again, I think it's safe that because we still have the chains on the grader. We're kind of getting at that point that we are starting to feel safe to take the chains off the grader, and so as soon as we can get a little bit of water out of these potholes, then we'll be starting to grade. Again, same thing, cold patch on the hard surfaces, on the tire and chip surfaces. We are putting cold patch down, but again, a lot of it is just with water underneath it, and so we're keeping on top of, or doing the best to keep on top of that anyways. Again, the recent weather, winter storm, which was the ice storm, and then a little bit of snow last night. But yeah, we're pretty much back. Well, not pretty much. We are back to regular winter maintenance. We had, I think it was a couple of weeks that we were under significant weather event, just getting sidewalks and roads and everything cleaned up. But yeah, we're back to regular winter maintenance at this point. Equipment, there's been a few little minor repairs from heavy ice as far as just wings and one ways was pretty tough on them. The big thing is the 2013 Western Star. The engine has seized on it. However, whatever started but the cams do not line up on top dead center anymore. And whether it's spun a bearing in the bottom end, anyways, at the end of it all, the engine is seized. A lot of noises and locked up, and won't start. If you want me to get into that, I have the pricing on at the point when I wrote this, I didn't have all the pricing I have. If you want me, I can get into the pricing on that right now. So
why not?
All right. So the first, the expensive option is essentially a rebuilt Detroit diesel. The model is a DD13, right straight from Detroit. So the price on it is $52,000, $52,379, and there is a core charge which our mechanic or Orford Mechanical feels that In his report, he feels that we can tear down the engine and find out precisely what went wrong. But the problem is, in order to get a core, we have to put the engine back together as well. And everything that he has seen just from the surface that he's, as far as taking off covers and so on, we could potentially not even get the core charge back on our engine. So again, that core charge is 14,365. So for a brand new engine, you'd be looking at 66,744 with the potential of getting that $14,000 back for a core or partial core if they can use some of the engine, but that's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
The other option is, that engine has a 2-year parts only warranty on it. Now the Orford Mechanical, he does have insurance to cover the labor warranty on that. And that also goes for this next option. It is a running engine that has been checked and gone over, has been inspected in good condition. It has a 60-day parts warranty. It's $22,000. It's $20,000 with a $2,000 core. So that, again, the labor to install, but that would be $22,310 for that engine. So again, there's a difference of $44,434 in those options. And that would be, again, a discussion of I believe each engine, because it's third in line, that truck is third in line currently to be replaced. So we need a minimum of another 5 years out of that truck. I believe anywhere from 5 to 8 years that we could get with that truck or with that engine. I believe that would be the options of, again, whichever way, again, that committee or council would decide to go. But that's the outlook on that truck, is we do have to, again, it's third in line. We do have to do something with that truck. It's third in line to be replaced. There's 2 others in front of it that need to be replaced first. So again, other than that, the transmission on that same truck, we already have a transmission in stock for it because 3rd gear and 7th gear were not holding. We were just going to get through the winter with it the way it was operating. So that said and done, essentially that truck's going to have a new driveline. So there's no reason it won't cover the 5 years, even up to 8 years of service again yet. So those are the numbers. Again, it was so the new one was $52,000 with a $14,000 core, and the refurbished, well, I guess they're both refurbished, sorry, but the refurbished takeout was $20,000 with a $2,000 core.
Mr. Chair?
Yep, go ahead.
Ron, the Detroit diesel, what's the reliability on that type of an engine?
Detroit diesel, the 12.7 or 13s, like they've been around, fundamentally, they've been around for a long time. I have no complaints with the Detroit diesel at all.
Okay. And so, what you're saying, if we mess around, we may be shaving some warranty time off a new engine then if we don't go with the new block.
Well, again, neither of them are actually a new block. They are both essentially refurbished. They've both been, now the Detroit diesel one is actually from Detroit Diesel. It's refurbished by them, but it is not a new engine. It is not a new long block, as you were to say. They are essentially, well, not essentially, they are refurbished. And the same as the $20,000, it has been taken apart. The bearings are good in it. All the internals are good in it. It has been determined to be a good engine.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, any idea what hours are on both of those motors?
No, so obviously the refurbished one is considered 0 hours. And the used one, again, it's been taken apart and inspected, but there is no confirmation. It has no ECM history with it, so confirmation of hours is not there as well.
And then, the other question is, what model is the $20,000 one?
They're both a Detroit diesel.
Oh, they're both a Detroit diesel, okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So you need 6 to 8 years yet, you said. You could replace 2 more, if you could get another 2 diesels for 20,000, you'd break even.
Well, essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one that you're talking about, the $20,000 one, you think it'll get through the next 5 or 6 years?
Yes, the amount of kilometers, it's a 2013. I'm unaware, I believe it has just under 400,000 on it since 2013. Like, it's not, we don't put an incredible amount of kilometers. And then even for idling, like, we don't have an incredible amount of idling hours on our equipment. So it's not going to be, other than the winter time, they don't struggle for, to get work, like, they don't get beaten, like in a mine or something or other. They're not, I wouldn't say they're baby, but they're not worked hard by any means here.
And then with your experience, which is fairly extensive, what would you recommend?
Me, I recommend the $20,000 option. I kind of have to agree with you that there is the 60-day warranty on it. It has been taken apart. It has been looked at. Again, if we don't get that core back, that $14,000 core, like a $66,000 or $67,000 engine is a pretty big hit when we could potentially get away with just a $20,000 engine that's gonna get us through the next 6 to 8 years.
So for 60,000, you could change the motor out 3 times.
Well, again, that's again, you could, in 3-4 years, we could put another engine in it and still not have lost money on it.
Yeah.
Again, that's not the game plan I particularly want to look at, but yeah.
Would we be, Mr. Chair, would we be looking at a special capital for 26? Because it's not in the capital right now, is it?
No, it's
So we
not.
would just, the council would just say, yes, this is
Yes, correct.
necessary.
And this is exactly, again, the number associated with it is something that needs to be a decision brought forth to committee and council.
Yeah. I'm prepared to make a motion.
And these are firm numbers.
Correct.
But in fact, what's the price of a new truck?
Depending on options, but you're 4.5 right now.
There you go. So,
Buy a lot of motors for that.
well, and we do have 3 trucks within the next few years that have to being switched out, so at 500,000 with taxes and everything, then 20,000 isn't that bad. John?
Or what was his price for removal and replacement?
140, his rate is 140 an hour. So he gave me a price if committee had decided to break our current engine down. He gave me approximately 20 hours to break the engine down and rebuild it. I did not ask him what his install fee was, again, other than the 140 an hour of his current rate. But at 20 hours, I would assume that'd be pretty close to, for the engine part of it.
Yeah.
What that invoice would be.
So I would assume, let's assume you take the $20,000 route, you're gonna put your new transmission in with that
Yes,
motor.
yeah,
So he's already spent 20 hours to take it out, so you got another 20 or so hours to put it back in.
so That's we haven't actually, the truck is just sitting on the lot at this point. We have not done, other than looking at removing a few covers and hooking the computer up to it. He has not done an extensive amount of work to it, just because like I said, we have the transmission and the clutch sitting there. And exactly as you say, because he can pull it out as one assembly and make it a whole lot easier for him. And obviously that would be so I would think that 20 hours, but we have virtually no, or I shouldn't say no, very limited diagnostic time into it at this point.
Be safe to say it'd be close to 10 grand by the time he's finished?
Yes.
Yeah, 50 hours times 140 is 7,000, so I'm just saying a few more hours, so 10 grand would not be too far.
Yes. Yes.
But that price is regardless,
regardless.
whether it's the $66,000 motor or the $20,000 motor.
You're still gonna spend.
And who else is gonna do it?
Yeah.
Locally,
Is Orford a local company?
yeah. And Sudbury would be double that.
Yes.
Well, you gotta get the truck there.
Yeah, and towing would be.
Yeah.
An offensive bill as well.
Do you use this truck in the summer, Ron?
Yes. Yes, we do use the dump trucks in the summer.
I'm ready for a motion.
Go for it.
Yep, the option B, the $20,000, and to get Orford to do the work. And I don't know if you want anything else in that motion?
No, I think option B, the $20,000 option is the route to go, I think.
I'll second that.
right.
Linda beat you to it.
All right.
Okay. All in favor? Everybody opposed? Okay.
And furthermore, Mr. Chair, I'll carry on here with the report. So under special projects, just kind of an advisement to make committee and council aware. Staff has had a meeting with Lyndon Martin from Ag Drain, which they do farm drainage, farm tiling and such. We had a meeting out on Beaver Road. So it is approximately 650 kilometer meters, sorry, 0.65 kilometers west of Grimesthorpe. There's a double culvert that crosses Beaver Road there.
Mhm.
It is not a municipal drain. However, they would like to use that crossing essentially to bring the farm tile drainage to the edge of right of way there. And then now in order for that drainage from that farm to work properly, the culvert needs to be lowered a minimum of 15 inches. He would like to go 18 inches, but it needs to be lowered a minimum of 15. It has been identified that one of the culverts is on a backwards angle by about 6 inches, and staff has identified and agrees with that. So Ag Drain and the property owner, all of the aggregates involved and materials involved for this project will be covered by the landowner. Ag Drain, now we have spoke with insurance to verify, and we still have to verify with Ag Drain, the contractor, of their proper documentation, to make sure again that there is proper book 7, like again, road crossing, we want to make sure that proper insurance and WSIB and all so we have to confirm that before we actually move ahead with this project. But this is something that's potentially looking at getting done this spring.
Okay, is that the opposite side of Grimesthorpe?
Yes, that would be on the west side of Grimesthorpe.
Yeah. Okay, I know the farm. And it has adequate drainage then down through there to the river?
So that said and done, furthermore, the Ag Drain, the contractor, is in negotiations or is discussing with the landowner on the south side. The contractor figures that he needs to go approximately 100 meters down that creek or whatever,
Yeah.
to continue with that 15 to 18 inch drop. That he would need to clean it out, to continue that flow.
So that would be all part of the project then?
Yes,
Like,
and-
Till all the approvals are in place,
correct.
okay.
Correct. Again, that's something that's in the works. It has not been confirmed as a go-ahead yet. It's just in the works of that's potentially what could happen this spring.
Yeah, go ahead, Deborah.
Would there be any municipal costs like on the road itself?
No, that is the municipal cost, and that was the agreement with the contractors that, now, one of the things that we did agree upon is just because of the short-term settling is we would likely have a water truck there when they backfill it, just so that we can get it to settle as best as possible. But again, just for those few hours or whatever, that would be the cost of having a water truck there. That's just something that I feel, because instead of ending up to keep the divot or the bump that would show up from the gravel settling. Again, I believe they're 3-foot culverts, so it will be a reasonable sized hole, because again, with from caving in, they'll be working in the hole. So again, they have to have a 45-degree banks on it, right? So it will be a reasonable hole. But again, that'll be, so I just want to make sure that it gets packed in and settled properly. That's all.
Is there farm funding for that? Well, maybe.
Again, I don't know if there is, who's as far as the landowner that's paying for to tile his drainage, what his costs are for tiling, I'm not sure.
One other question, if you're done there.
Yeah.
Have we ever put something in place as to who is responsible for culverts and any damage, like, a year later when she starts to dip down or anything like that? Have we ever put anything in place for that? That you know of?
Not that I'm aware of, however.
We should.
However, with that, staff are looking to, in regards to some of that, there's been some just from history or whatever, staff are looking into how we can work with the contractor. And actually, this contractor, I started a conversation with him last year in earnest, and I do have to say I respect him because he reached out to me with due time and plenty of notice of his plans this year. And I really respect him for that, again, because this is something that I wanted from him, that I asked of him last year, was that he negotiate or at least let us know what he's doing. Again, working in our roadways and ditches and stuff like that. Just, I've identified a few culverts that they have not been a problem. But there's a potential that it's just not an ideal situation.
I've noticed in a lot of historical spots where they cross, then you get that dip.
Yeah.
You get that dip. And we don't get them everywhere, but every once in a while you do. Who's responsible for it? Is it us that has to go fix it, or should it be the owner or company?
And again, on some of these dips where, and even we've done it to ourselves as far as the roads department, some of these dips, because if the road historically has a lot of dirt or less than ideal base in it, and we dig up a larger size culvert and then backfill it with all proper gravel and clear stone and stuff like that, the frost tends to work differently on that gravel as opposed to like where the dirt that holds the water. So of course it heaves the road a bit different on us too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a unfortunate part is having the two different qualities of base side by side, right?
Yeah, I know, but even with the culverts, but even when we allow people to put in shore wells and stuff like that, they're undermining the road. Who's responsible for it? That's the when they start to shift and do their thing, and
Well, again, that would be a direction from council or from committee, to perhaps look into that, when those road crossings, wells or whatever, when private contractors do that, that'd be, again, if there's notification system or something that we were aware, other than by word of mouth after the fact.
Deb,
Yeah. To me, that's where the no harm clauses come in. But prime example, the Ketchum Custom, you know, I go down there different times and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we should have put that in the budget because it's gonna be a lot of work. But those are all municipal culverts, aren't they? I was trying to detect if there was any dips where there might be 4 water lines at least going across there,
and then there's,
any dips and, not like the culverts for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of work there for next year or for 27 for sure.
okay,
So I'll carry on.
John,
Just one more, this might be a place for a letter of credit. $1,000, whatever it might cost to repair settlement for a year,
Okay,
Jim. So,
yep, staff will look into arranging something like that with the contractor and go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one more thing on the report, we had our gravel tender out. It was closed, deadline March 31st at 12 noon. One tender was received from Mike Berry Excavating. The prices are there as shown at class 2, which again, for our surface treatment this year as discussed, we had to go with class 2 with the fines. And that comes in at $28.10 a meter for a total of $29,505. Granular A at 26.84, for a grand total of $93,940. Granular B at $24.12 for a grand total of $24,120. Total after taxes coming in at $166,748.45. And then as represented in the comparison to last year, overall price represents a 4.7 increase from last year. Our quantities are down a little bit. So obviously the prices, again, it reflects it there as far as the A granular and B granular are up on average of 18. But it's the granular class 2, which is cheaper than the HL3, which is brings that all back down again to a 4.7% increase over last year.
what did we budget?
I'm sorry. Again,
Like,
that,
are we around budget?
yes, that's definitely within
We're
budget.
not over budget.
No, not at all.
I don't need an exact number, just if we're
Yeah, no,
within
that's
budget.
good within budget, yes.
Okay.
And again, that because the class 2, which is like, it's not just the fresh gravel, that class 2 is in there for surface treatment as well. And that is the end of the report. If I can, sorry, that was the staff recommend for motion to accept the gravel tender.
Okay, can I get an acceptance of the report first?
I can give you that.
Thank you, Dale. Seconder. Linda, thank you. Anybody opposed? All right, then I need a motion to accept the gravel tender.
I'll make that motion, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Seconder. Dale, any discussion on the gravel tender?
Just one. The other local contractor, we used to get bids often and, you know, got to be a bit of an issue, you know, with other contractors and could underbid because of taxes and that type of thing. But I know it's nothing we can do about it. It's it's disappointing now that we oftentimes just get one bid in, you know, that, I'm sure it's probably competitive, 4.7% isn't that high really, but it should be nice to have two or three rather than just one. And it's out of our hands as far as taxes and, you know, not paying taxes and that type of thing. But
So I believe one of the large factors this year is the cost of fuel.
Yep.
It has made contractors very hesitant on where fuel prices are gonna go. But it just seems they're very volatile or whatever right now. So yeah, that was one of the comments as far as fuel pricing that, as far as tendering going.
And diesel's gone crazy. At the start of the winter, 5-gallon can of diesel for me was $25.
mhm,
I picked one up last weekend, $45
mhm,
for the same 5-gallon can.
yeah,
So, yeah, I think everything's going to be up this year unless something happens shortly.
maybe tonight at 8 o'clock.
Cool.
There might have also been a little bit of disorganization in the other company right now, and the fact that one of the partners
Yeah.
is gone. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, could be. All right, anybody opposed to this tender? It is carried. I have noticed, Ron, a lot of breakup in our roads, in our new roads. Both sections on Monument are gone. There's other spots that are gone. How's that gonna affect us this year? Cause they can't even be cold patched.
So one of the roads that I had figured on, we looked at it last year, it didn't get completed. So Frank's Road going, off of Silver Bay, it broke up bad this year and it's not doing good. We did account for that and it is gonna be done this year. Staying within the budget, there may be some other sections, but again, we kind of, there might be some other sections that we have to adjust as far as but we do have a lot, again, the vast majority of our budget this year was for single surface, treatment. So again, as mentioned with Councillor Dale, catch and cook 'em from Old Highway towards the government dock, we had planned on that. Frank's Road, we had planned on. And again, so Monument Road, I'm hoping that once the snow melts, things get cleaned up and swept up, we can actually see how bad the breakup has been on our roads. As a municipality, I don't really take it personally because all the municipalities, including MCON, including the provincial, it's just been a hard winter on our roads.
Yeah, I think it takes us into our next topic on here.
Yes.
The resolution coming out of, from the other municipalities, but, I have noticed it driving around that a lot of our roads that we've just done within the last, say, 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years,
Yes.
they're just crumbling. Just crumbling. And then I look at other roads that haven't been done in 20 years and they're just fine.
So-
Pothole.
And as you say, Mr. Chair, brings you into your next topic, obviously very well. Because that's obviously been identified as staff as well, that some of the roads that are older do appear to be holding together a little better, unfortunately, but yeah, that, like you say, that brings you into your next topic.
Yep.
Well,
Yep, well, I just wanted to, keep the story flowing. So we do our roads here, we keep everything flowing. And we do have a motion coming out of NEMI over to go to the government Ministry of Environment, over the, aggregate and, chemicals that are being used in our hard surfacing. They've taken something out of them. And it's just not working. We've noticed it big time here, especially since I've been on council, it's just not working. We do roads and the next year they're just crumbling, like, there's something wrong here. Ron, want to tell us about it?
So, Mr. Chair, I did some quick research on this today. I don't have a lot of background. I spoke with Wayne, the road superintendent from NEMI. I personally have never been able to nail down any proof of what has changed in the emulsifier. So just doing a little bit of research on it, the bitumen, or it used to be called a cutback asphalt, which they used a petroleum base, whether it be kerosene, diesel, or whatever, to liquefy the tar, if it were. Now, again, obviously, that said and done, no one is a huge fan of petroleum-based products being put down on their roads and essentially soaking into the environmental hazard of it. It had the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds in it. Again, not a environmentally friendly product. So because of the environmentally friendly aspect of it, they came to what is now called the emulsified asphalt, which in short terms, again, forgive me without I didn't write down all the scientific, but basically the emulsified asphalt is just basically a water-based product, is what you've gotten into. That said and done, what NEMI is referring to, and again, I haven't seen any documentation that has, whether it be McAsphalt or whatever company, specifically what named ingredient has changed. That said and done, when I had a meeting last fall with Beamish, the gravel on the side of our roads, you can see where it has sat in tar, but not stayed.
Yep.
So again, specifically back to this letter or motion from NEMI, I support it. I would love to, there, again, as you mentioned, even with our own roads, using the option of class 2 this year, I am, because it would be nice to have a surface treated road that would hold on for more than 2 to 3 years. That would be nice to get back to that again. So I see that they had forwarded this motion to the Ministry of Environment, AMO, Good Roads, FONOM, and MPP Bill Rosenberg. So if someone takes attention to it, and again, I believe it's a good motion and it should be pushed forward again. Yeah, it would be nice to have an answer to what we can get done for some more quality back in our surface treatment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Great.
Make that motion.
Make motion to support.
Just support, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a question for Ron. Back maybe half a year ago, so we were talking about the tar and chip and it giving away so quickly in a couple of years. And then we talked about some of the other options. You had mentioned the fogging was the other surface treatments. I'm thinking of the one out by the dam, Mindamoya, and what MTO's done on 542 heading to Highway 6. And that was a coating over top, wasn't it?
Correct, yes.
And at that time, I was interested in seeing not the price compared to the longevity and seeing where we might be if we would consider other options.
I personally am a huge fan of the sealers, sealer topping or coating. Again, we tried that kilometer or so on Cranston Road. It has done well. I do not have the prices in front of me. Again, it was something, with budget discussion this year, just with the quantity of roads that do need to be done. So just the fog seal without any additives, like no sand or whatever, I believe, and forgive me, I can't remember if it was $7 or $9 a square meter. And that was just for the simple fog seal. To go to the slurry seal, which is the essentially like a finished pavement, that slurry seal, apparently I've been led to believe can even take straight salt. That is what they carry. I believe that's on Highway 540 out to the east of Gore Bay. It seems to me, I think it was about triple the cost of that. It was substantially more expensive again to go with the slurry steel per square meter. So that is unfortunate where we would be at as to how far what the municipality would want to put forth into a budget around that type of thing, right?
We've gone, if I may, we've gone from 10 to 15 years to 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So that really makes budgeting really hard when you're just doing roads and they need to be done again, and you still have roads that need to be done. John?
A few years ago, I read an article. It was about one of the lake associated states where they actually banned oil and chip and went with asphalt treatment. And mostly because of the oil and chip working its way back into the ecosystem or into the water system. I tried to find that this afternoon. I'll dig for it again. But it's probably the ultimate way to go, as Councilor Scott mentioned with MTO and what they did across the dam on 542. They did a number of spots along 542 heading up towards Fort Bay that way to treat problem areas. And it could be a big consideration for the island, even for the municipality, to do that type of covering rather than just keep putting oil and chip, is do an actual asphalt. I know you're talking more money, longevity might
That's
solve
what,
the problem.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is, yeah, it's 3 times more money. But if you get the longevity, because what they've done at the dam, I'm just using that little section that I drive on all the time as a test, and there's nothing on it. There's not even a pothole in it. Like it's fantastic. So
Been about six
6
6
years,
years.
yeah.
I will try and find that article for you, Ron, for your next road. So it was an interesting read, is what it was.
I think if there's a bit of research to see what that surface treatment not only would cost, but how many years would be expected compared to tar and chip. And I don't have any hope that tar and chip is going to get any better. I'm not sure this resolution is going to go anywhere with the Ministry of Environment, but I know it's a budget thing, but I think we can work around it. It would take longer, wouldn't it? 4 years to get the same amount of road done, but you would do the high priority ones first. And it's like buying any good quality merchandise. You can buy the cheap stuff off the counter, the bargain barn stuff, but you'll throw it away right away. If you buy a good quality, you probably got it for a lifetime. So,
See, this started about, what, 10, 12 years ago, we didn't have this problem. And all of a sudden, now we just can't seem to do any roads, so I think if enough northern municipalities maybe go after them, maybe they'll throw some money at us or something, at least, like, I don't know. It's costing us a pile of money, so we're not getting anywhere, at least before we were like moving forward. And now we're seem to be going backwards because we're doing where we were supposed to go forward and then having to do it again and again and again. So we're not getting the result we need here. So
But if it's a 3-to-1 ratio, let's just say it's a 3-to-1 ratio. 3 years, if you could get 9 years out of the surface treatment, you've broken even. And the problem is, how much road can you get done per year and with surface treatment, and could you keep up with the amount of road that you really need to do?
So just, and with that in theory, like you say, and I'm not even confirming that it is the triple the cost, like I have it in my budget folder, but that said and done, if we perhaps bring up catch and cook them, like you say, like this year, we're gonna do a single treatment from Old Highway to Government Dock. That to do that would take 3 years. In with that thought in mind type of thing, right? It's gonna take, so that would be the hindrance to how long it would take to get a chunk of road done.
Either that, or we bite the bullet and increase our budget by 30%. We could do that. We would have to go other departments and cut. But there are places to cut. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
yeah,
Was this not we received a correspondence from Denise, an email listing the items that were going to be discussed at the Phenom conference, and was roads maintenance not one of them?
roads is always on for no. Always on for no.
If we had any questions, we were to let them know in advance so
Yeah.
they could have the answers. So maybe we should be forwarding our discontent to Phenom. See what they have to say
There's a
about
copy of this going to Phenom and MTO.
it. That's right, yes, it is.
Good roads and our MPs and.
Yeah.
But. Any further?
It's just my opinion that if you're gonna use the light oil, that now is the environmental standard. You wanna go back in history? I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. I'm not sure how strong environment is compared to MTO. So I think if we had an alternative that was environmentally friendly, like a surface treatment, we'd be better off.
Yeah, but their alternative doesn't work.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I went through this in the bodywork where they got rid of all the acrylic enamel paint and brought in water base. That's not as good a paint. It was terrible to spray. It was just, well, but the government liked it. It was all water based. And I think it was about the same time as all this junk come in too, so.
The water-based pavement doesn't seem to. I can't comprehend that because pretty soon your pavement's washed away.
If I may, Mr. Chair, again, so the science behind it, it gets into, because you wouldn't think that oil and water combine, but it gets into negatively charged ions and how it, again, that was the science behind, but essentially that's the short version of it. It's basically a water-based asphalt type of thing.
Okay, Okay, anybody, or I need a seconder for that, motion. Thank you, Linda. Any more discussion on the motion?
Just maybe, Ron, if maybe you get time on another roads, maybe we could get some comparisons, even if they're estimate comparisons, you know, it's hard to say exactly how much per kilometer this is gonna be or that's gonna be.
I do have the quoted prices for this coming year for 2026 of the three different levels of sealing surface. It won't be, I could take this year's 2026 budget and just again, just quickly reference the cost increase of the different levels of surface treat or the coating.
That would be, I think that would be good to, we have to get a start somewhere.
Okay, anybody opposed? It is carried. Now we have a letter of concern for parking in Providence Bay. Being that that is a highway, is there a lot we can do, Ron?
So discussing with with Denise and staff is what we can do is we can write a letter of for the homeowner to contact MTO to consider putting down yellow paint in front of their driveway, just as a, like with crosshatch as a no parking zone or something or other. You're absolutely correct. It is a provincial, that's Highway 551 right there. That boulevard is obviously theirs as well. So yeah, that was our consideration in discussing with Denise, is that we write a letter for the homeowner that they can send along to MTO to hopefully resolve this issue for them.
Okay, so but even a no parking sign would still have to go through MTO.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so like we really don't have that authority
Correct.
to.
Yeah, any signage, we don't know.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
go ahead, Brad.
I've been down there quite often. And it's just not on the street where they're blocking his driveway or their driveway. They're parking up on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Like they're actually going right onto his property, parking there. Is there nothing we can do about that? The sidewalks, are they not maintained by us?
They're maintained by us, but again, it is on provincial roadway. And again, so where they're parking, like you say, up on the boulevard, I would like to think that if we could, even just a simple, I don't know if we can do signage, that at the very least would be wonderful. But I think if we had a nice yellow crosshatch or paint on to really grab someone's attention, I would hope that that would deter a large amount of people from parking right in front of their driveway. Like you say, a lot of it is on the curb, the boulevard there. And I will agree with Councillor Brian there that it does get busy there for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah. Yeah,
Go ahead, Brad. No,
No,
keep going, Brad.
I said I just don't want to see it pushed to the provincial because we know it could be 2 or 3 years before we get a response um, from them. If there's anything that we can do as a municipality, I'd like to see us at least try and do something like that. Maybe can we paint the sidewalk yellow?
No, that's what Ron was just saying, because it is a highway, it has to go through MTO. So we just can't go paint the sidewalk.
Right.
It's not our property. We might maintain the sidewalk, but it's still not our domain.
All right.
Dale.
Yeah, there's lots of examples, here at the corner. 2 no parking. MTO is supposed to be, they should be policing it anyways, but we can't do anything municipal. They've got the hatches. People are parked in front of Jake's. People are parked in front of the the girls. And nobody gets towed away. Same thing happens in tag 1. No parking, nobody gets towed away. You could put up some kind of barricade for the sun from spring to fall, not ideal. We do that in front of the arena in the winter. And that looks after parking in front of the arena if they're put up. Out on 540 at the Cup and Saucer, they tow away. If you're caught out there in that zone, you'll get towed. You know, that's the whole thing. The word gets out, you park there, you get towed. That's the only way. People will not stop parking if there's no consequence. And now I don't know how that, but we really don't have any control of, we can't call the tow truck and say, tow that guy away. We'd be in trouble. But the MTO needs to, it's their highway. You get a death. MTO's already being sued, that corner. You get a death because of a park, big time lawsuit. So how do we look after that at Huron Sands and get people just dissuaded from parking? And there has to be a consequence to parking.
Yeah.
Now, I don't disagree with hatch. It'll, on a law-abiding citizen, the hatch will work. But it's those people that want convenience, want to park right at the front door of Adams. They're the people that you have a problem with. They don't care about regulations at all. No. So they need to be, there has to be consequence of towing away, and I'm not sure if we talk to the police, how that can happen. You can't give a ticket because you have to catch the person getting into the vehicle before you can give a ticket. Well, you can tow them away for safety. So somebody needs to, maybe we need to get on to the MTO about that. Because if we're gonna go through that effort with the MTO to get hatch marks in Prague, I think we need to deal with the no parking problems down here too.
Yeah, if I may, we currently have a problem with a particular individual car that's been parked in the same spot for over a year, sitting half on the boulevard and half on the concrete sidewalk. And I talked to the bylaw enforcement. Nothing the municipality can do, as we're saying, but the municipality needs to be given direction to talk to the MTO directly about signage to prevent that from happening, and parking for the complaint that you have, but also parking for a vehicle's been sitting there for over a year. So something needs to be done, but I think as bylaw told me, we need to sit down and work out a letter that needs to go to an MTO to try and solve the problems that Councillor Scott is referring to, and the problems we got in the province Bay as well.
Denise, can you chime in on this one?
Well, I don't know that I have anything to add past what you've discussed.
Yeah,
You seem to bring up all the points. We don't have the authority to ticket anybody parked on the highway. That's, in my opinion, the best that we could do is have a letter of support for the landowner to support his request to have that area designated a no parking zone. I mean, it's not a no parking zone. We as a municipality cannot put a no parking zone on it because it is not our road. So therefore we have no ability to enforce the parking on there.
But do we have any authority to request MTO to enforce? A question, sure, I think that's a question.
I mean, we could certainly request that MTO enforce, but that's about the limit of what we could accomplish there.
Okay, because, yeah, there's this one problem in Prague, but the problem in Mindemoy is constant. You know, parking along food land, the other side, in front of Jake's, does create quite a significant hazard. And like Dale says, there's not enforcement. The odd time there'd be a police officer sitting there and people seem to move on, but then when they're not sitting there anymore, then it doesn't make any difference. So I don't know what to do in this particular case, but like it's got to be MTO that enforces it. It's their highway, so. Dale.
And I think we do have I think we do have an impact and an obligation, because these are our own residents that are being at risk. We were talking about somebody that was handicapped and couldn't get out of their own driveway, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about our own residents that are using, well, now it's a four-way, so it's much safer, but still, it's the visibility is the problem. And down there, obviously, it's the traffic going through,
Mm-hmm.
the busyness of the traffic and everybody parked in front of everybody's laneway.
Well, it's even when you have vehicles parked both sides, and even if that particular gentleman is trying to get out, the vehicle's all there, you can't see. And now the highway's even that much more narrow with vehicles on both sides of the highway there, so, it's
But
definitely.
But I think we do have a voice, and we do have a responsibility to talk to the MTO about it.
Okay.
And I think we need to work on safety and work on illegal trespassing, blocking private laneways that people can't get out. That was all in that letter about the safety.
Yeah.
So I think we should be starting to knock on MTO's door about it.
Now, the second form,
I'd like to make that a direction.
yeah, okay. The second form sort of, that we got sort of falls into the same thing here, and we could maybe do it all in one motion. We don't quite get the whole accessible parking and everything. I'm not sure if I quite got the whole gist of this second complaint form. Even if we were to, we would still have to request a accessible parking sign to be put there at that driveway. So, is that what it's sort of asking for? I'm not exactly sure.
And even then, at that point in time, anybody could access the accessible parking if they had an accessible parking permit. So it's not guaranteed that the homeowner would be the only one that would be able to park there.
There you go.
When I read it, I look at the first as a complaint and the second one
As a solution.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just don't quite understand the solution, so, or the solution that's being proposed, I don't quite understand.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
And so, don't you think that if we're going to complain to MTO about this particular one, but we also want something done about this corner down here in Mindemoy, don't you think that we should approach them separately so we don't get them mixed up?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that if we want to send a letter to MTO for a solution to this one, to accompany this letter, it should be a separate motion from, the problem in the Moy at the corners. What would the committee like to do here?
Well, I'd definitely like to see letters written or letters of support and push as fast as possible um, for, and to keep them separate. Keep Mr. Young's incident separate and keep them in Moya separate because otherwise we'll just get bogged down in paperwork. So.
Well, when the spring comes and the tourists are in, or not just the tourists, but if all the activity starts, I really don't have any faith that anything will get done by that time. So is there a possibility of we can put up pylons in front of the arena? It's on MTO highway. No problem. Kathy at Pet Supply can put up her pylons.
This homeowner could put up bylaws.
He'd have to put them out where the parking is.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he could do it.
could we supply him with pylons?
Oh,
The spring is coming and nothing's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
That would be a question for Ron.
Well, it would be direction from committee or committee and council if that's what you wish staff to do. For a temporary solution or,
I'm not suggesting that roads, roads workers have to go and take them in and take them out, like at the arena, come in and out, but it's not always, the maintenance, workers that have to do that. They're there in the entryway and then even people that are at the arena put them out. So I'm not sure how you do that, but you
well,
would supervise it, but you wouldn't necessarily have to do all of that work.
No,
If-
I'm gonna advise against this. You are precedent setting, because anybody then who wants no parking in front of their house is gonna say, you supplied them with pylons. I'd like some pylons too. Pylons can be purchased by the homeowner, but I would definitely advise against providing the public with our pylons to use in front of their house as a parking deterrent.
You jumped in just before me. I was getting ready to make some sort of a statement.
There is a fine line, there is a difference between the arena and
Private
Huron
home.
Sands.
Yeah, well, the arena, we're putting our equipment up and stopping parking there, so, that's sort of the difference, but, John,
I believe I saw a letter that went to MTO pertaining to putting cones up in front of the arena during the tomorrow.
mhm,
So I think we have permission to do that.
mhm.
I think if I'm right, I'm
Yep.
100%. But I think we do have permission from MTO, so. Denise could correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
wrong,
we got permission to do it years ago.
Yeah.
Something has to be done on the spring though.
Yep.
Or it's just gonna continue on the same.
So, does anybody wanna make a motion to the letter of support to MTO? I think,
I will make that motion.
yeah, I thought you did, Brian, that you
Yeah.
would, make that one.
I'll second that.
You'll second that, Dale?
Yeah.
Okay. Um.
Do we,
Can we advise him to put up his own pylons? I don't know. Can we legally do that? Ron, what would be I don't know where the township needs to.
I don't know, like Councilor Basilian said, if we have asked permission, again, just to have random homeowners to start putting up pylons along the highway. I do not know the in-depth of the legal aspect of that, how legal or not that is.
Yeah, I think a homeowner could do it if he wants to, but I don't know the legalities of us actually giving permission for it for something we don't, or suggesting it.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
uh, I know they're put up in Mindemoy in two places there, but I think the word temporary, is used in that too, because they're only there for delivery to cats, and they're only there, at the peak, times for the arena. They're not there all the time, eh? So, if they were to show up at, in other places, there's a chance that they may be there permanently. So we'd be opening ourselves up for something that, may not be legal.
I think that by putting this off with a letter of request from the municipality is about the most that we can do to this issue, to this complaint. And I think the homeowner needs to know, get a response to, what we can and can't do. Is that fair, Denise?
Sorry, what was your full solution there?
That a letter be sent with the complaint reform, with the support of the municipality to the MTO. And then that, a letter be sent to the complainant as to, what we've done and what we can do.
Yeah, I talked to Matt directly, and I said that we would, that if it's agreeable with council, that we would provide him with a letter of support in any letter of concern that he was going to put to the MTO. We can also mail our own letter to MTO regarding the issues that we have and ask them to look at the issue that's been brought forward to us. That way it's kind of a double hit. We can advocate for it, and then he can advocate for himself as well.
Okay, yeah. But I don't think we should be putting out any advice on pylons or anything like that, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, thank you.
He could figure that out on his own.
We talked about it.
He could say we talked about it, just give him a little hint.
Yeah. Talked about it. Oh, there you go. John, you and Brian should be seeing them one of these days.
Yeah,
You could say, we talked about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Couple of them might show up.
Okay, any more on the letter of concern?
beating that one pretty good.
I think so. All right, our year to date. Oh, wait a minute, I need a motion to accept those letters. Put them in the record.
Yeah, do we have a motion from Brian on something?
Yep, and you seconded it.
Yeah.
Yep. But, can I get a motion to accept the, letter of concern?
I'll make it work for you.
Thank you, Dale and Linda. All right, that one's done. Our year-to-date financial report for the third, month. March.
I'll make a motion that we receive
Thank
it.
you. Can I have a seconder? Linda, any discussion? Ron's gonna be 20,000 over.
So
And the year's just started, just saying.
Well, this is Operation Cotton.
Same thing.
One question for Ron. What about the 2021 Hyundai loader? It looks as if you've almost blown your budget on that already. We budgeted 1,500, we spent 1,400.
I can have a look into that. There's a block heater, we put a block heater in it this year. I can look into what those costs have involved. It may just been some error in coding there. There hasn't been a lot wrong with the loader.
Any other discussion? you're off the hook because Richard's not here.
Maybe just an update from Ron, now he's coming with the fuel dispensing system that
We have another meeting tomorrow. We have one quote confirmed in. And we have another online meeting with a different supplier for tomorrow. The first one, they have, I don't think that they're necessarily Canadian based. They have Canadian company, like they have Canadian and work with Canadian companies. So we're just making sure that we have contacted 3 people or 3 companies. Just making sure that we have all 3, and going again with the procurement policy as necessary for, with that.
Were any of them Brookfield?
No.
How's it working out with the fire department now, utilizing the system?
Good, and the same thing with bylaw, like they both come in, they have been writing down their fuel as they use it. Yeah, it's been working good.
Okay.
Hasn't been an issue at all.
It hasn't hurt the supply and demand and,
No.
okay.
No, and that is the nice thing about the fuel tanks, and despite with the furnace oil, but our fuel tanks, I have very much expressed with our supplier that we cannot run out of clear diesel, and they have, again, through the season, even with the hydro outage, we had to supply the sewage treatment plant and the, water treatment plant, both plants had to be supplied, and we did not run shy on clear diesel.
Okay.
So that's good.
It's working good.
Yeah.
Okay. Dale,
Yeah, the 2 fuel bills for Sandfield and Mindemoya, the Sandfield one, Ron, probably won't be going up that much more. You know, we don't know how cold the weather's gonna stay, but we're running about 72% for the winter season. The other concern, of course, is the old building. Over budgeted, but the new building's planning on, is it propane heat?
That's what we are aiming towards at this point,
Right,
is propane heat, yes.
not in-floor heating.
That is an option that we're looking at as far as in-floor heating.
So that over budget, that'll just keep growing for the next month or 2, obviously, and throughout the year, but it's just simply because of the inefficiency.
Correct. In light of the history, again, over last winter, with again, the same topic being a monthly issue. I am very aware of where the thermostat is, and it is just simply usage of, like it's not that the shop is being overheated or heat's being wasted. Yeah, it just unfortunately, it just seems to run all the time. When it, like in those, like when we had that -20, -18, -20, the furnace just hardly shut off.
And with fuel prices,
Yeah,
well, we should get some value out of $9 million, shouldn't we?
sure, let's put that in a opinion. I could give you a call, Will. Anyway, did I get us first and second for our expense report?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions on our expenditures? Anybody opposed to accepting our expenditures? We have nothing in camera. Dale?
Sure.
Okay, we
Motion
have
to
an
adjourn.
adjournment.
I
Thank you,
thought this was,
everybody.
when I looked at the agenda, I thought we were gonna have about 20-minute meeting.
But when you have Ron here,
Yeah, yeah.
he's such a nice guy to talk to. He has so many answers and solutions that,
That's
you know,
That's
you can
right.
have a good meeting.
You have a few months to get it up on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
four of them.